hi everyone, welcome back to another social studies lecture. Okay, today we're going to get started on a new issue, alright, issue number 3 about globalization. Now, in this topic, okay, we're going to learn more about what exactly globalization is, and we're going to talk about how globalization is being driven, okay, in today's 21st century. Now, let's get straight into it. So this is our learning objectives. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, you just need to know four main things for this particular chapter. Okay, so globalization. All right, we'll discuss what globalization is today, and we'll analyze some of the main driving forces. And in the next few units, okay, we'll understand the impact that globalization actually has on Singapore and around the world. Now, globalization, okay, the definition of globalization is a process by which countries become interconnected as a result of integration of ideas and activities of people in different parts of the world. Now, this definition is very, very important because if you understand this definition well enough, you don't need to memorize anything else. Okay, because so long as you link all the driving forces of globalization to the idea of being interconnected and integrated, okay, you can actually derive the rest of the explanation already. Okay, you'll see what I mean later. Okay, this definition, please remember it. Okay, keywords: interconnected, integrated, and later you'll also learn interdependent. Okay, so the key principle is that globalization is based off of trade. Okay, how globalization came about is because of trade. So the first interconnection that you will actually understand is interconnections. Okay, so this is based off of what we call the supply chain. Okay, the supply chain, okay, as you will learn later, is a part of this globalization framework because today, all right, the supply chain is literally all around the world. So it's manufactured in one place, its raw materials come from another place, okay, the assembly goes into another country, and then it's distributed all around the world. So the supply chain is a living embodiment of this idea of globalization. Okay, so interconnection, you need to know one very important relationship, and that is interconnection will lead to interdependence. Okay, interconnection, we have connection with one another. Interdependence, we now depend on one another. Okay, so the problem with that, all right, with the interdependency, if one falls, all will fall. Because if everything is dependent on one another, you just imagine if there is a circle, okay, if one part of this circle breaks apart, is it a circle anymore? No, right? Because it's not full, it's not connected. Same thing, if all these particular stakeholders are dependent on one another, if just one of them, something happened to it, okay, then the entire system cannot work because it's not a complete system anymore. Okay, this is the idea of interdependence. Okay, normally it will work because everything is linked, but it just takes one part to fail, everything will fail. And this is what you will learn as part of your case study in the 2009 global financial crisis. They will learn in the next unit. Okay, so that is globalization. Okay, so remember that globalization, okay, interconnected, integrated, interdependent. Okay, these three main keywords you can use for any explanation. Okay, so now that you know what globalization is, let's talk about how globalization is actually driven in today's world. First, why do we have increased globalization in the 21st century? Very simple. First reason, development in transportation. Okay, so this is the first driving force. First driving force of globalization. So today, as compared to many, many years ago, today we are able to get to a lot of different places with faster speed and also greater comfort. right? Remember, last time, long time ago, people get from one place to another by very uncomfortable, very long voyages on ships across the giant oceans. Okay, today we have all sorts of things. We got planes, we got cruise ships, we got container ships, we have trains, we have buses, all these things. So as compared to back then, today's transportation infrastructure is significantly improved. Okay, so we use these two terms to define to describe it. Okay, is efficient and integrated. Efficient meaning fast, integrated means everything is connected. Okay, so because it is efficient and integrated, you realize that we can transport people, we can transport things more fast and more efficient. Okay, it is also cost effective, meaning that it is not as expensive essentially. Okay, it's not so expensive until it cannot be happening or you lose money. That's what cost effective mean. Okay, so because of this, okay, because it's efficient, we can transport more things plus at a more cost effective rate. Therefore, we have a greater exchange of goods, people, and services. Today, this is globalization. Okay, this drives globalization. Because why? Exchange of goods, peoples, and service. You will realize that this forms interconnectedness. Right? More transportation, easier to get other places. Don't we become more interconnected with one another? Right? So that is the main point of this particular part. Okay, transportation is all about interconnected. Okay, and once we are interconnected, okay, we will be able to exchange more goods. We can transport more people so that they can transfer their skills, their knowledge, their services to more people. Okay, this is why transportation improvement will lead to globalization. Okay, because we are interconnected and more things can get exchanged. Okay, so this is why Singapore has continuously invested, okay, in our transportation. Okay, be it Changi Airport, right now there's Terminal 5, we're continuing to build Terminal 5. Okay, the more connected and more efficient our infrastructure is, okay, the more likely we are able to earn more money. Okay, because people would prefer to transit through us, people will come to us. Okay, more people will come here because it's more effective, it's more efficient to come to Singapore as well. Okay, especially if we're talking about business. Okay, so this is important. Second reason, MNCs. Okay, MNCs are big company. They have one headquarter but a lot of branch offices in all sorts of country around the world. Okay, so by their very nature, MNCs is global. Okay, so how they drive globalization is because of economic interconnectedness. Right, I expand overseas, my business expand overseas. Don't I create connections between this place and all the other places? Yes, right. Okay, so from one head office here, I expand out multiple branches. Okay, and then the different branches will have to connect to one another. What? Okay. Ayo, sorry. Don't you see? Okay, it's a bad diagram, but you can see one headquarter expand with branch offices, and then each of the offices have the relation to the headquarter plus each other. Okay, this already show you the economic interconnectedness. Okay, and what we learned just now, interconnectedness leads to interdependency. Therefore, globalization, right? So MNCs, because of their global nature, they drive and increase economic interconnection, which leads to interdependent relationship between countries, companies, organizations. Okay, and with the increase of MNCs, you realize that globalization increase also. Okay, so examples of MNCs, there's a lot in Singapore. For example, big MNCs, McDonald, Apple, Shell, all these big names, they are all MNCs. Singapore also have their own MNC, Singtel. Singapore Airlines, all these are MNCs as well. Okay, so you will learn in the next chapter also that you realize that MNCs actually they have a very important role in creating this good relation between countries as well. Okay, because apart from employment, right? Because if MNC expand here, right, there's more jobs for the locals. Okay, they also help Singapore to maintain its competitiveness. Okay, and then in turn, the MNCs they come to Singapore because what we talked about before, stability, law, order, less corruption. Okay, so that's why they come. This is what we learn in diversity. Okay, but you need to know that MNCs help to form good relation between countries and companies. Okay, yeah, so in the end the effect of this is that MNCs contribute also to the exchange of ideas, right? Because foreign companies come here, they have to collaborate with local people. Okay, and then we collaborate, we are able to come up with new innovation. Okay, so this is similar to what we learned in unit 6 also, when we talk about increased diversity. Okay, so MNCs also about the exchange of ideas. Okay, so this is actually a form of interdependency, right? And then everybody depend on one another for benefit, ma. Okay, so MNCs, in conclusion, the MNCs, they are global in nature. When they expand, okay, they are actually forming interconnectedness around the world, and then this interconnectedness will lead to interdependency. Okay, with interdependency, we have exchange of ideas. Okay, so this is the entire flow. So it's a standard, okay, for each one of these factors. Now, the third and last driving force is technology. Okay, now technology, we are focusing mainly on the exchange of skills and knowledge. Okay, this is the main point for technology. Now, with the internet, right, there is a greater exchange of information. Okay, why? Okay, the phrase I like to use here, okay, anybody can communicate with anyone, anywhere, at any time. Okay, I repeat again, anyone, anywhere, at any time. Right, so these three A's, okay, is the entire essence of the importance of technology. Okay, now we don't need to fly hundreds of miles to find somebody else to just to talk to them. No, we can just use WhatsApp, we can just use even Zoom, right, during the pandemic. Okay, all these things are advances in technology. So you realize that if we are able to communicate with people from the other side of the world within a few seconds, doesn't this allow us to facilitate more exchange of information? Right? Especially when it comes to business or when it comes to scientific research. We just have to post on the internet our research paper, or we just have to call the other person. We are able to exchange information already. Right? So technology helps us to exchange more information, okay, because of the ease of use of such technology. Anyone, anywhere, anytime. Okay, so in this age of information where everybody have technology, everybody have internet, okay, we have instant access to information. Instant access to information, okay, almost instant lah. So I just have to go online as long as I got Wi-Fi or got signal. Okay, I just go online, I can find anything that I need. So the greater communication, more communication because of the internet allow for ideas and activities to become highly interconnected. Okay, so that is the main point for technology. Okay, it's the idea that we are able to communicate with one another so efficiently today that we actually have more ideas being exchanged, and this creates an interconnected nature of information in the world today. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so in conclusion, the first one, we're talking about transport. Second one, MNCs. Third one, technology. Okay, remember, globalization, the entire idea of globalization is interconnectedness, interdependency. Okay, So these two are the keywords that you can use for everything lah. Okay, so you just have to remember that. Transport is about, okay, exchange of goods and services plus people. We can transport people much quicker, therefore is interconnected. Just write IC plus ID. Okay? So transport is about exchange of goods and services being increased, more people being transported, we are forming more of such relationship. MNCs, because of their global nature, when they expand overseas, they form economic interconnections, which forms economic interdependency as well. Technology, access to information, instant access to information. Okay, our 3 A's, anywhere, anyone, anytime. Okay, as a result, we have a higher exchange of information and we form interconnectedness and interdependency. Okay, and that's it for this particular chapter. Okay, so it's a very simple chapter, but it is very, very important for you to understand this, especially when it comes to understanding the next few chapters. Unit 9, which is on economic impact and globalization. Unit 10 on cultural impact of globalization. And Unit 11, which is on security impact of globalization. Okay, and with that, that's all I have for you today for this particular chapter. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Okay, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We spend a lot of time and effort making these materials for all of you. Okay, so I really hope that this has helped you understand a little bit more about globalization in our world today. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next lecture. Have a great day. Bye bye.